Hi y'all, good morning. Today is November the 11th, and technically y'all, I'm done with my part-time job. Part-time job. It's done and over with, okay? It was done and over with yesterday. Today is my technical last day, but today's a holiday. My job, I would have been working, but because I can't get a floating holiday, because floating holidays can't be paid out once you're gone, um, yeah, I got the day off and I'm getting my 4 hours pay. So thank you. So here we go, y'all. I'm here to talk with you about Plan C, the much awaited Plan C. I know. But you know what? I didn't want to spill the beans too early because things come up in life, right? Things come up in life. And I've kind of knew about this for a month now. And I'm gonna go over it. So I actually did write down the time frames as to everything, okay? And let me just say this. In the past, when I have applied for jobs, you guys, I have felt nervousness. I have felt at ease, right? At ease, like, am I going to be able to do this job? Blah, 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 right? And this here, now I have applied for this company in the past. When I had quit my full-time job back in April 2021, and between that time, before getting my part-time job and starting that in December of 2021, I applied for this job, this company. Let me say this company. And I got turned down, okay? And that's okay. So I'm here to say, y'all, try again. If you get turned down for something, keep trying. If you're like me, let me say, if you're like me, one, I deal with depression, right? I know I'm good at what I do. If I put my mind to anything, y'all, I'm a rocket, okay? But like with my depression, I put myself down so much. I'm like, man, this company, to me, right? This company seems so high class. And I'm like, girl, you can never be that. But I'm like, I offer exceptional customer service. That's just me, right? I come on here to talk. I come on here to share, to help. I don't come on here for money. So this is just me, okay? I hope you guys really understand that this is just me. I'm a helper. So, you know, like my sister says, like, Candace, why would you want to be back on the phones? I'm good with phones. I'm good with talking with people. Even when I'm not in the right mind, like my mental space, because if you guys don't know, I don't know who's watching this, I deal with depression, okay? I deal with depression and anxiety, mainly depression, anxiety comes, but depression is my thing, right? And even when I'm feeling down, I can still help people. I come on here, I can cry on here, I still share, right? So that's me. Um, I'm a helper all day. Okay. So me being on the phones, I'm good at what I do. So you have to, this is something else, right? You have to know what you're good at, right? You have to know what you're good at. What are you passionate about? I feel like any job I've ever done, whether it was working at Staples when I was younger, I started working at a not telemarketer. It was a company that helped out with cell phone providers. So that was still helping customers learn about their bill, what was going on. I'm in the customer service aspect, okay? And not every job is going to be ideal, but I've always made the most out of my jobs, okay? I'm sorry, we're getting 4 minutes into this and I haven't even started on Plan C. But I just wanted to let you guys know I applied for this company and I put myself down so much. And I'm like, man, Candace, you want to work for this high class company? But I mean, as I mentioned last year, I got denied. This year, I got denied. And I'm going to go over that with you. But I didn't give up. And I've applied for another job as well throughout this time frame when I was off on my short-term disability. And they haven't even responded back to me. I've applied for that company in the past as well and got denied. But I'm just here to say, like, if you're passionate about something, And I mean, you don't know the company, right? But it's just like, put yourself out there, keep applying. You never know. Things change, time changes, right? People quit jobs, people gain jobs. The market changes. Where you may fit in, your time may be coming, okay? So, so let me tell you. So back in August 15th, I was going to quit my part-time job because of my mental state. My seasonal depression was about to kick in. It was kicking in. It was kicking my butt. And I was just like, Candace, it's time for you to quit your part-time job. My part-time job is not ideal. The company itself is not ideal. I could do my job, okay? But I was just like, Candace, this is just not you. Ask for help. So I went on short-term disability. I'm not going to go through all that spiel, but while I was on short-term disability, 1 month went past, and I'm like, I wasn't thinking about applying for any jobs, okay? I wasn't thinking about applying for any jobs. So you figure up to September 15th, my short-term disability is still in limbo, okay? So, I applied for Amazon. I'm like, well, if my short-term disability gets denied, I've been out for a month already, right? If my short-term disability gets denied, then I probably don't have a job to go back to. And I'm just like, oh, Candace, it start kicking. Amazon, I had issues with my first Amazon application, second application to a different warehouse. That went through just fine. It was an internal error with Amazon, of course. I have videos on that. So you figure I'm out for a month, and I'm going to give you these time frames, right? So at this job, they offer work at home positions. And I'm like, and you go online. Now for me, I like to go on Indeed.com. A lot of Indeed.com work from home things that I was finding for my area. Now, I should not even be looking specifically for Virginia or Richmond, Virginia, but that's what I do, right? I was seeing $14, $15, and I'm like, okay. I know I'm worth more than that. Now if you don't mind, let me take a step back. Before I had quit my my full-time job in April of 2021, I was making close to $30 an hour, okay? Now, for my mentality is like, Candace, I was good financially with that income. Financially, y'all, I was good with that income. Y'all have seen me budget those paychecks. Y'all have seen me save up $32,000 between that and me hustling, having those part-time jobs. But mainly, I was still able to save up close to like $700 a month, right? I was comfortable. And then to walk away from a job to focus on myself, it was a big hit for me. Emotionally, financially, mentally, definitely mentally, because me being a single parent, not just a single parent, y'all, I say this because I'm a widow. I don't care if my husband wasn't the best provider, but at the same time, if I needed help with anything, I would always be able to rely on him. He always would come through, okay? If I was down and out, if we were down and out, he would always come through. I don't have a phone call I can make to somebody, right? I don't. It's just me. So what am I trying to say? So me quitting my full-time job, almost close to $30 an hour. I'm like, Candace, I would like to be back up here financially because I know I'm worth it. I worked 9 years at this company to get to this. And now all of these other jobs are starting down here. Let me tell you guys, I don't have a degree, okay? I have a certificate in carpentry and masonry, okay? That's it. So for me, I'm like, any job I get, you guys, I'm starting entry level. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Set your expectations based on what you are. I don't have all of these high degrees, okay? I don't. So I'm going to be entry level. So to go back, I was looking on Indeed.com for work at home customer service positions. And a lot of them were like $14, $15. Sometimes you will see $20, but I'm just like $20 an hour. And I'm just like, not, this doesn't seem like me. Now, another thing to know about me is I love finances. I love money. I share with you guys my budget. I don't share advice budget wise. I share how I do things because I know everybody's circumstances are different. Okay. I just show what I do. I'm not the type of person to freely give advice if it's not asked for. I don't do that. So anyways, I'm like, man, Candace, I would say I quit my full-time job right then and there. I'm not rehireable. I will say this. I did apply for a position at my old job earlier this year, and I went through, man, I got a call back, an email back immediately. Yeah, we would like to move forward with an interview. Got through an interview, and they said, you're a good fit. You're a good fit. Y'all, it took them a month to respond back to me. And I think they would have hired me, but I told my sister I wanted to just to see if I was rehireable. A month later, it was like, fortunately, we decided to go with other candidates. Thank you for your time. But you know that those emails are not specific. They don't tell you the reason why. But I knew that was the reason why, because I'm like, I know this company. Like, why wouldn't you want me back? But of course, I did that to myself, right? But I just wanted to try and see. It doesn't hurt to try and see. You know, if you're rehireable. I know I asked my manager before, like my upper manager, and because me and him, he was cool, right? Because he was my manager, and then he became my manager's manager. So when I left, and he, you know, messaged me after I left, he was like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And I was like, "Will I be rehireable?" He said, "Unfortunately, no, Candace, because I didn't leave with a 2-week notice. You guys, I did not. One day I logged into work, and it was building up, y'all. It was building up, and yeah, it was just a done deal. And I was like, I'm done. So while I'm looking for jobs, while I'm on this short-term disability limbo of not knowing if I have a job, if my short-term disability was going to go through. And I have videos on why I felt that way, because everything just seems like it wasn't going right, okay? So I know on September 24th, I applied for a job, okay? This company has a lot of different positions, okay? And some of them are virtual. So I was applying, like, Candace, I know I applied with this company last year, but let's try it again. I'm in the finance world, y'all. I love finances. So what I was seeing on Indeed, I'm like, they weren't finances. I'm customer service, but I'm finance, right? That's what I'm good at. That's what I'm passionate about. I know I'm good with customer service, but why not do something that I'm passionate about? I would love to come into work to help somebody, to do something that I love to talk about, stuff that I love to see. So anyways, I applied for one position on September 24th. I applied for 2 other positions on October the 11th. Now, September 24th, I didn't hear anything back from them at this point. Oh, I'm sorry about the date. I'm looking at these and I'm like, it's a slash. So I applied for the first position on September 24th. The other 2 positions I applied on October 1st, not the 11th, chicken scratch. October 1st, okay? October 1st, keep this in mind. Now, you know, I'm thinking like, hey, Candace, the worst that can happen is you don't get it, right? You still got at the end of the day, you still are waiting to see what happens with short-term disability. It doesn't hurt to try to put yourself out there. Now, I will say these jobs are also full-time. And if you guys don't know, for almost the past year, I've been part-time because I I was going through so much emotionally, mentally, with my mental state, and I just needed to take a step back, because before, like, the past, 2-3 years, I was hustling, hustle, hustle, hustle. I at least had 2 to 3 jobs at one point, almost all throughout these 3 years, right? And I'm just like, Candace, you got savings. It's time to focus on yourself. And I budgeted out that part-time would be okay for me, but also I will use my income tax money. I'm going to do another video about that. I'm sorry, we're 15 minutes in. It's going to start getting faster, I promise. But this is this being in depth, my train of thought, my thought process, okay? Okay, so here we go. On October 3rd, so I applied for this position on October 1st. October 3rd, I got an acceptance for an interview, okay? I got an acceptance for an interview. You had to log in, choose a date. I chose the fastest one I could get. That was the next day, October 4th. So I'm like, okay, cool, cool. And can I say this, that throughout this time, I'm a very anxious person, okay? I'm a very anxious person. I get worked up. I don't know my worth. I know my worth, but at the same time, I put myself so down that, like, Candace, I act like I'm not worth anything. But when I was doing this interview, so this interview was with the hiring agent. You know, they ask questions, and I'm like, okay. And I felt so at ease. Now, all my words didn't come out right. I'm not very articulate. I'm a conversational person, you know what I mean? But you know what? I got through it. The girl, she was like, Candace, you're a good fit. I don't think you're going to have any problems with getting hired. This is like the talent person, the one that reaches out to you, right, for the interview. That's who I had this interview with. So once again, applied October 1st. October 3rd, I got a email saying, hey, we would like to move forward with you. Choose an interview. I did my interview on October 4th. Okay. So on the following day, October 5th, I got a email saying, hey, congratulations, we would like to move forward with you again. Okay. And I'm like, oh my goodness, really? So you see, it's just, the ball is just rolling really fast, really fast. So once again, October 4th, I had this interview. The following day, October 5th, I get this email. We would like to move forward with you again. They provided a group interview the following day. So October 6th, we had a group interview. There was probably like 6 of us in there. There were like 2 managers. There like 2 managers or team leads, and then like a training person in there. And so these are like 2 managers that we would be actually working with, okay? And then there was like, I think the other person was like a training person, and they went through the group interview. And the only time I've ever had a group interview that I can recall was just I guess you could say it was a group interview, was at Kohl's. My first time applying for Kohl's. And yeah, y'all. Yeah. So it was just me and another person at Kohl's. And I ended up getting the job. The other person, she didn't get hired. But yeah. So I do the group interview October 6th. And these questions, they choose each. Now, all of the questions, all of us have to answer. It was only supposed to be like an hour, but it turned into like almost an hour and 45 minutes. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm cool. I don't even care what time of day it is. I'm out of work. My other job is in limbo. I'll like take as long as you need. But I just felt so confident with my answers. It was a different person, y'all. I just felt so confident. So this is October 6th. October 7th, I got an acceptance to move forward with another interview for the actual like higher up manager. Okay, this is the higher up manager. And that appointment they scheduled for Monday, October 10th. Okay, so I do the interview with this higher up manager, like the manager that oversees the department, basically. So she would be those managers. It's weird. They're all kind of like managers. I don't know what their like description is, but that's just what I'm dealing with, right? And so I had this appointment on Monday, and I will say with all of these interviews, they were like, it may take a couple of days. Yes, it's like it may take a couple of days to hear back. So I do this interview with this manager on Monday. She was like, okay, you may hear from us by the end of the week. So as I mentioned, it was on Monday. So I'm like, okay, cool. Tell me why on that same day, on Monday, the 10th of October, I got a call from a different recruiter. Just giving me the congratulations. Hey, Candace, we would like to offer you the job. And now at this point, they were like, we want to hire you. I had to do a background check and I had to do a drug test. Okay. So I had to schedule a drug test, my background check. They were like, that could take up to a month, right? A month. And I'm like, this company that they use, I'm like, I've used this particular background company in the past, and it's always been really fast because I don't have nothing on my record, okay? I don't have nothing on my record. So anyways, October 13th, by October 13th, I was cleared for my drug test and my background check at this point. So yeah, so you figure October 1st through basically October 10th, you guys, I got hired. It was such a quick turnaround time, but there were, in this time frame, there were 3 interviews, okay? 3 interviews. Now, I will say this company has been awesome. Awesome. They have been reaching out, making sure, you know, you're okay, making sure you're all set. So I put down on my notes that on October 21st, I got just a follow-up call. So you figure this is almost like a week later. Got a follow-up call just wanting to congratulate me. I think this is like a hiring manager. She just wanted to congratulate me and see if I had any questions. Now, I will say everybody from point A to point C, D, E, everybody that have reached out to, they were like, Candace, this is my number if you have any questions. Because I've talked to quite a bit of people, right? Reach out to me. Let me know. Let me know if you have any questions, any concerns. So so basically by October 10th, I was basically hired contingent on my background check and my drug test. Once again, that got all cleared out as of the 13th. And they were like, man, Candace, you're the first person to get cleared out for everything. I'm like, yeah, I ain't got nothing on my record. I ain't do drugs, so I'm good, you know. And really quick, let me just mention this. When I did my first interview, you guys, with like the recruiter, that first interview that I had on October 4th, one of the questions they did ask is like, what are you looking to be compensated? Now, y'all, I'm better than $17.50 an hour, but Candace, don't push it. Don't push yourself, right? Because I want to be up, as I mentioned, the other job I left, I was close to $30 an hour. Close to it, okay? I wanted to be back up there. I worked so hard to get up there. 9 years with the company. I worked so hard to get up here. Now I'm down here because of my decision to focus on myself. And I'm just like, I would never be back up here. It will take me years to get back up here. So anyways, I was like, when she asked that question, I was like, I told myself I'm not going to push it. But I was like, you know, $21 to $23 an hour. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, this is what you'll be making per hour. It was over $23 an hour, you guys. You heard me? over $23 an hour. Over. I'm not going to give you the specifics. But yes, y'all, I was like, when that first call came through, y'all, or I did that first interview on October 4th, and she told me what the starting pay would be for me, I was in awe, right? I just felt blessed, right? I didn't get hired at this point, but I just felt so blessed that, Candace, it is possible for you to be compensated for your worth, okay? It is possible for you to be compensated for your worth. Even though you don't think that you're this high, you are this high. And this solidified it for me, y'all. As I mentioned, this whole time, this interview process, all of this, I just felt so much at ease. So much at ease. Now, let me say something. Let me kind of backtrack something really quick. You know how in the beginning I told you I had applied for 3 jobs, one on September 24th, 2 on October 1st. I had a little scare moment, okay? A little scare moment. Because you figure I had my interview with the hiring person on October 4th. That was the first time, right? And they was like, "Oh, you'll hear back from us." She said, I don't see any problem with you. You know, she was like really confident that I would be hired, right? She was confident right off the bat, and that made me feel good as well. She's like, "Your qualifications, what we're looking for, yeah, you match it." So that was on October 4th. She's like, "You'll hear back from us." October 5th, I got one of those dreading emails. "Sorry, but we won't be moving forward with you." Now, I will say I kept this all to myself throughout this whole time from my son. I kept this from my sister, and that's not like me, but I just like, let me just keep this to myself. You know, sometimes we share, and I'm just like, let me just keep this to myself. I don't want to be disappointed again. You know, it was just me trying something out, right? So October 5th, I got this email. I remember it so vividly because we were downstairs. My son was downstairs eating. I was sitting in my side of the couch, and I get this email from this company, and I'm like, oh, wow. You know, I'm like, this person was so adamant. It was like, "Candace, you're going to move forward." Then I get this email saying you're not moving forward. My heart sank. Because I'm like, oh my goodness. Thank goodness I didn't share it with nobody, right? Thank goodness I didn't share it with nobody. But then I was like, wait, Candace, hold on. You applied for other positions. Look at the requisition number. It was for the job that I applied for on September 24th. It took me like a couple minutes to kind of pull myself together to be like, "Candace, double think what you're looking at," you know what I mean? So that was like a kind of a scare, not a scare, but it was like my heart sank, y'all. My heart sank. I ain't gonna lie. And but it was once I logged in, it was for the job that I applied for on September 24th. Now you may say, "Candace, what happened with this other job?" About the time I got all this approval as of the 10th, or my acceptance, probably around like the 7th, or the 10th, I logged into that third job, and I just withdrew my application because I'm like, I'm moving forward with this other one. Why should I put another hiring person through looking at my application and so forth that I already am going to be working for y'all? So I withdrew my application for the third job. And let me tell you guys, it's amazing. It's amazing. As I mentioned, this company, I've applied for it before, but I don't think highly of myself. But this company, to me, is up here, right? Exceptional, high class. When you think about this company, you're thinking high class. You thinking world-class service. Now, for my previous part-time job, it was here, but this company is up here. For me, mentally, this is how I think of this company, okay? And I was like, wow. Now, of course, the qualifications was just like, make sure you have your GED, your high school diploma, and at least 2 years of customer service, preferably call center customer service. And I already had that. So as I mentioned, this is entry level, you guys, basic, don't have to have a degree, anything. So I'm saying all this to say, like, if you have experience, like, oh my goodness, I knew my worth. I knew I was worth more than $17.50 an hour, which I'm working at, getting at my part-time job. I knew that. So when that lady once again asked me on that first interview, how much are you looking to be compensated? I'm like, Candace, don't put yourself too far out there. Don't say $30 an hour, because, girl, that could kind of prohibit you from getting the job. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's say $21 to $23 an hour. And when she said it was going to be more than that, and on top of that, y'all, I'm eligible for monthly bonuses, and they say people average around $800 a month. Average. You heard me? Average around $800 a month. Most people obviously earn, people earn more, but on average, people earn at least around, I forgot the amount, it was over $800 a month, within the $800 range. So here you think about this, right? I'm getting paid more than what I asked, what I wanted. It's kind of close to my previous 9-year job. And my previous 9-year job, they had cut out bonuses years ago. So that's how my pay was a little bit higher as well, because when my previous job, they did some changes to get rid of bonuses. They increased our hourly pay. How they did it was so janky, but I was just like, whatever, I don't care. My checks are going to be consistent, whatever. So it was like, I'm kind of like starting off, I'm almost getting up here where I used to be at, but like, y'all, I'm just excited that I'm getting paid up to my worth. And like, you get bonuses. So I'm like, if I think I'm as good as I think I am in customer service, I ain't gonna have no problem with bonusing, okay? So I'm super excited. What else? So anyways, with this job, they will be paying, they will be giving me, I think, $75 per month for internet. And I was like, oh, I'm going to bank that $75 a month, right, for myself. But they're really specific. They were like, we want you to have a specific line just for work. Just for work. We don't want you to have your Wi-Fi or any other things connected to this modem. So I was like, me, I want to save money. I'm like, hey, I can bank that $75 they're going to give me per month. But I was like, Candace, do the right thing. Do the right thing. They're asking for this. They're compensating you. Do the right thing. So I got a business line put in. So I go through Comcast, okay? Comcast does not allow you to have two personal lines in your house, right? So two residential modems in your house. So I called and I got a business line put in. Now the business line with the equipment, which is almost like $20 per month, along with the service of $89.99 per month, you're looking at like around $110 per month. You figure I'm only going to be getting $75 a month, right? So I'm still coming out of pocket, but I'm like, it's okay. It's just like, you're working from home. And I will say, in my area, I don't have a lot of options for internet providers, okay? I heard that we do have Verizon, not the Verizon Fios, which is the fiber optic, but it's just like regular internet. And I'm like, I already deal with Comcast. If I felt like when I was trying to look for internet services with Verizon, it was just like they wanted me to have it act like on their website I just couldn't have internet on its own. It was like, oh, what do you want for this phone? And the bill just kept adding up. So even though like what I was looking for was like around $50 a month, it was like on their website it just kept adding other things on, and it would not allow me to get past like not having a phone service. So it would have came out to be the same amount. I didn't even try to call Verizon. I'm just like, I'd rather deal with the company that I've always dealt with since I've been down here, let alone it's on the business side. So you figure with me signing up for paperless billing and auto pay, that's like a $10 off per month. So you figure my bill would be around $100 per month, not including taxes. So out of pocket, I'll be coming around 25, at least $25 or more per month. So we'll see how this all works out. They will give me a $100 credit, or I might first check $100 credit for my $100 credit for installation. So that $100 that I was charged, that will be reimbursed. What else is there? I will say they have already, I got my equipment set up. I did this all yesterday. I took down my other equipment. The other equipment is downstairs from my old job. This equipment, I set it up. My desk looks beautiful. I'm going to show you guys a picture. It looks beautiful, less congested. I only have one monitor, but it's 32 inches. So it's like you have two monitors within one. Super cool. And versus a laptop, I actually have a tower, a computer tower. So that's cool. That's very, very cool. Yeah, y'all. So I'm excited. So today is, as I mentioned, November the 11th. So today, we're going to do a connectivity test, so to make sure we can get into all of the systems successfully. They gave us paperwork. I was able to set up my computer. I was able to log in, all of that. It's going to be via video, I guess, with this job, and just like so many other jobs, when you are having to do like meetings on the website, you have to be on camera. So they did provide a webcam. They provided us two different headsets, one with two of them, one with one headset. I prefer the two. It's very, very comfortable. It's not like those cheap things. Like, this company is not cheap, okay? They gave me a welcome packet like a week or two ago. It had gave me like a bottle, some company socks, a little backpack with their logo on there. What else did they give me? Oh, like glass cleaner, you know, like the fiber thing to clean like your glasses off, or you could probably clean off your mirror, your, what is this, monitor. Was that it? Oh, and a pad with their logo and a pen as well. So yeah, it was very nice. I was not expecting that. Now, you guys know I showed you guys my little welcome packet with my part-time job, so that was really, really cool. So yeah, it's always nice to get little welcome packets, and I just feel like this company is going to be a good fit for me. Like, everybody's like, we are very oriented, like, you know, work-life balance, really work-life balance, and they care a lot about mental health. I just can't wait to see the benefits, you guys. I just feel like they're such a world-class company, and I'm going to be part of it. And I will say this department has only been out there for a year, a little over a year. So I'm starting off with a department that is fairly new as well. So there's like, you know, we're still learning, but I'm pretty sure they're more, this company is so high class. Like, even though you're just starting out, I know this company put a lot of work into like their training and everything, their resources for us to be the best that we can be, right? Because they are a world-class company, and that's what they're going to expect for us. So they're going to provide us what we need. That's the only thing I can think of, right? They're going to provide us what we need. And I mentioned that in my interviews, like, you know, like, why are you leaving? Why? I'm like, man, like, my whole thing was resources, not having, you know, everything I need to be the best agent I can be at my part-time job. You know, I was honest with them, honest. And as I mentioned, I just felt so good. It moved along so fast. And one reason why I didn't really want to share anything is because, you know, you just don't know, right, what's going to happen. So really quick, you guys know recently I just got notification that Jamez will be having no surgery. And that was unexpected. I didn't even know it was going to be this fast or anything. I thought I was going to have to put it off. So what I ended up doing, once I got that notification that Jamez was going to be eligible or scheduled for no surgery, I emailed the last person that emailed me, which was like a hiring manager. And I let her know, I said, hey, I know you want us to have 100% attendance, but it just came to my attention, which it just did, that my son is going to have surgery. I didn't say what surgery or anything like that. She was like, I said, is that I said, I know, you know, I'm being honest here, right? I'm being so honest. That's the only thing you can do, right? If that's going to take me or not allow me to be at a job, so be it. I have to make sure my son is taken care of. I have a job that's been doing okay for me. So, you know, I was open and honest, like, hey, I don't know who I should be speaking with, but something just came up. He's going to be having surgery. It should be early in the morning, so I probably won't even miss a full day of, you know, training. So she responded back. She said, we have two options for you. Two options. You could either, you know, take that day off as unpaid, or, and of course, if he has any follow-up appointments, you know, that you may need to attend to, you can start our second training class that will be starting, I think, December 2nd. So I emailed her back immediately because I already know, like, his other appointments are early in the morning. So I'll be fine. So I responded back to her. I'm like, you know what? No, I all his other appointments, I know what time they're going to be. And that's not going to be any issues at all. It's just this one day. So I said, I would like to start off when I start off, which will be November 14th. I don't think I ever said that. My start date is actually November 14th. So yeah, they gave me an option to start off with the second training class. So I had it, like, I emailed her immediately as soon as I seen it. And I'm just like, because like in my mind, I was like, man, Jamez, are we going to have to put off your surgery or what, you know? And, you know, until I'm out of training, which training is like 16 weeks, you guys, 16 weeks. So it's very long, which I'm happy about, you know, I'm very, very happy about. I feel like I'm going to do awesome. My shift will be Monday through Friday from 9 to 5:30. So I will be full time. And if you guys don't know, if you guys been following me, I wanted to be part-time for at least a year to 2 years. The year is almost coming up, right? And I feel confident in being full-time. You know, I'm getting help again with my medication. And it's time. I got to put my big girl panties on, right? I'm a mom. At the end of the day, my son, he will eventually get his license. My insurance will go up. I'm not asking my son to work right now to pay for, you know, for his cost, because, you know, that is a responsibility that, you know, I could, you know, hand off to him. Hey, if you want to be able to get your license, just know once you get your license, my insurance goes up, so you need to get a job to help out. I don't want to have to do that. Like I told my son, because he's going to be graduating in 2013. When he's 16 years old, about to turn 17, I told him, like, take it easy. Enjoy your childhood, right? Enjoy your childhood. I am not forcing my son to work, anything. I want him to enjoy his childhood. Once you get out of school, once you graduate, take a year off. You know what I mean? You'll have a car. I'm giving you an allowance. Save up your allowance, right? I'll do that in another video. But like in my mind, I'm like, man, between food prices going up, my rent going up, everything's just going up. Candace, it's time for you to, you know, it's time for you to have to go full time. It's time for you to have to go full time. And I'm confident. I'm happy. How all this worked out, y'all. It just put the icing on the cake. Like, it was just such a smooth sailing. And this is something, like, I prayed about, you know. I prayed about, you know, like, what's my next step? Am I ready for full time? And how all of this worked out, it was just like, Candace, you're going to be A-okay. So yeah, y'all, thank you guys for watching. Sorry it's such a long video, but y'all know I like to give you guys detail, right? Detail. And that's my plan C, y'all. That's my plan C. The pay is going to be up there, so your girl's going to hopefully be able to save some money. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And yeah, I will talk to you guys soon, okay? Bye.